Entire timeline. Render. And that does it. I have officially caught up on vlogs. Well, not necessarily officially, since it's not like uploaded, but I just finished editing yesterday's vlog, which means that there's no more vlogs to edit. Yes, hello, it is the 25th of June. It is a Sunday, and it's a productive Sunday. I mean, for probably lots of different people, but for myself and Serena particularly, I guess, because Serena's at work right now and I am at work, I guess. I don't know. I kind of struggle between defining like the YouTube stuff as work, since I just genuinely love doing it and I do it for fun. Obviously, I'm not making a living off of it. Just make very, modest amounts of advertising money and some other like Patreon stuff. But that aside, I'm caught up and I'm excited for it. It was productive. It was cool. And I thought it would take me far longer to catch up from, the couple of weeks that we were gone, counting the travel time as well as the time in Colorado. I thought that it would take, at least into July for me to round it back out. But here we are. Very nice, It feels good. And something else that feels good too is getting this stuff kind of set up and tested. I noticed it in the background of yesterday's vlog or last night's vlog, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. It's lighting and a green screen, of course. There's other junk as well, but we're going to ignore that. It's still a work in progress, the office. So it's not pretty, but that's fine. Lighting, this has already been very helpful. As you might already know, I am the host of Game Domain. It's a YouTube channel. You can just look up Game Domain. You'll find it there. I usually stand right over here, and I talk about Nintendo stuff. I've been just operating with some basic lighting stuff that we've had, as well as the windows and everything to make it as presentable as possible. But now that we actually have our professional lighting set up, it's going to be a heck of a lot better as far as, lighting, since lighting creates light. You get it. Anyways, very excited about that. Not just for Game Domain, obviously, for my own stuff. I'm thinking about recording the end of this month's Patreon video over in this corner. Normally I record the Patreon video up at the desk, because what I do for every month's Patreon video is I talk about the YouTube analytics and where the channel's going. Then I ask for feedback and what games people want me to play on the Let's Play channel, and you get it. But I'm just so gung-ho and excited about the lighting situation that I think I might, try and find more excuses to use it. I definitely do want to do more like topical videos. I did a few Paper Mario ones, the Minish Cap one, Tears of the Kingdom, Banjo 3. I've done a few that are not just outright Let's Plays, and I think that would be fun to do as well, given that we have, studio lighting. But we'll see how that ultimately plays out. Another thing, speaking of lighting, I applied today, and this is just on a whim, and it's kind of a pipe dream. I applied today to Elgato's partnership program. If you're not familiar, Elgato is a manufacturer that creates, I think the most known, at least in my circles, for their capture cards. They kind of have the industry standard as it relates to console gaming capture cards. And they also produce microphones and lighting and stream decks and things along that line. Everything really for content creation, at least as it relates to gaming content creation. They have their toes dipped into those pools. Anyways, I applied to join their partnership program. I'm not necessarily sure what that would even entail if I were to be accepted, like whether or not there's tiers of it. But I think that'd be great, because there's definitely some hardware upgrades that I need to make in the future. I mentioned capture card. I've been using a cheap little $20 capture card since the inception of my YouTube channel, which is pretty remarkable. Right? Because a $20 capture card you would expect is going to die on you relatively quickly, or at the very least not produce very good footage, but it records in 4K, it gets me 4K 30, which is fine, or it gives me 1080p 60, and both of those are great for Nintendo, right? Because the Switch isn't even capable of producing 4K, so it doesn't even matter if I get 4K 30, and then anything else before the Switch obviously is not capable of that. So if I were someone that was maybe doing like PS5, Elden Ring stuff, then I would definitely need an Elgato or something more powerful like that. But for my purposes, that cheapo capture card has been just fine. That said, I would love to upgrade, and I am planning on upgrading this year, not just in the capture card, but also in terms of a camera, right? Because I use this little guy here sometimes, this Logitech, and it's marketed as a 4K camera, but I don't know, maybe I just don't understand it well enough that I'm not getting the best out of it, I don't think. The Nintendo Direct video that I put out last week on the Let's Play channel was with that, and it worked out okay, but not perfectly. If you've seen that video, you know what I'm talking about. In fact, the only way for me to get true 4K footage is through the iPhone, and I buy it too. Like, it looks good. It's just that I would prefer to not have to plug in my phone to my computer to route that video feed into OBS if I were to, do another stream like that, or a recording or whatever, anything with my face on it. So, need a camera. Before the camera and the capture card, though, and this ties back in, I guess, to Elgato, since I don't think Elgato does cameras, but they do microphones. Specifically, the Wave 3 would probably be the microphone I'd be most interested in. It's a USB mic, and I use a USB mic, and traditionally USB mics are not seen as, I guess, of high of a quality as maybe an XLR mic, but I've read enough reviews and seen enough streams from a few people like Josh Jepson who use the Wave 3 that lead me to believe that it'd be just fine, and I get compliments on my commentary on my Let's Play channel with my freaking Blue Snowball, which is another like cheap piece of equipment. I think I got that for Christmas a long time ago, and it's like $30, so as far as USB mics go, while USB mics are not necessarily seen as powerful as XLR mics, the Blue Snowball is even pretty low down that list as far as powerful USB mics. And the Wave 3, as you might imagine, or at least I imagine, is up there pretty high, especially if you've got professional streamers and content creators and stuff like that using it for their job. So, either which way, whether or not Elgato gets back to me with a, bit of good news as far as my inquiry for partnership, I'll probably end up upgrading definitely microphone, probably capture card, hopefully camera in the next, 10 months. But we'll see, because crap is expensive, all right? Existing is expensive. Have you seen rent prices lately? Goodness me. Makes me sick. Whew. But that's my spiel for the day. So, thank you so very much for watching. I do appreciate it and hope that you enjoyed yourself. And with that said, I'll see you tomorrow.